Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Andre. So today we're going to be looking for some parts for our new rebuilt Range Rover project. So as you saw in the previous video, we inspected the car, and basically mainly it needs the left front suspension, front bumper. There is some damage to the fender, and obviously the gas leak that we have to fix in order to start it. So today we're going to be looking for left front suspension because this is the first thing we need to actually make this car movable, so we can move it around and at least like put it on the lift so we can fix the gas leak and get it running, hopefully. So this is basically the main part we need right now. The first thing we need to take care of. So what a suspension is basically it consists of the spindle and the control arms and the strut. So basically what it does, it attaches the wheel to the car. That's the function of suspension. So basically we inspected our suspension and it looks like the spindle is good. So the only things we need is basically the control arms and the strut, the air strut. So I'll show you guys the process I'm going through in situations like that to get the suspension. And first thing I like to do is, I browse around, like I go on Carparkcom. That's the main site that I use for something like that. And a lot of times I actually call the dealer first to get the prices and see, how much these parts are from the actual dealer, and then to compare them to used prices and make a decision whether it's worth it to get it used or not. So I actually called our local Land Rover dealer, and they were nice enough to send me this quote. So I gave them the VIN number for the car, and I asked all the prices for all the parts. And actually, to be honest with you, I was expecting a little bit higher prices. These were actually not too bad. They were still high. So for all the parts that we need, basically, if I was to get the complete suspension, so the spindle, two lower control arms, upper control arm, it would cost me somewhere around $1,700 from the dealer, which is not too bad. Again, a lot of times it's even more expensive. So let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a used one cheaper. All right, so let me share my screen with you guys real quick so you can see what I'm doing. All right. Hold on. All right, so let's go. For something like that, like suspensions, I like to go to the website called Carparkcom. This is actually one of my favorite websites to look for parts, and what it is actually like a big search engine that allows you to search parts all over the country, and basically through the thousands and thousands of salvage yards. It's like a search directory that shows you who has the part and how much they want for it. So I put in 2016 Range Rover Sport, and right here you see in the drop down menu there is like the list of all the parts that they list for this vehicle. And when I'm looking for suspension, the way they call it is a knee. So see, I'm going here, it says knee assembly right here. That's the complete suspension. So I click search, and it asks me there are a few options. Basically it asks you for the engine size, whether it's a 3-liter or 5-liter engine. Obviously ours is a 5-liter, so I select this, and LH means left hand and RH means right hand side. So we need the left suspension for a 5-liter engine. I click search, and right here, as you can see, a few options pop up. There's not many of them out there, and I see the prices. This one, it says rear left side, so this is a rear suspension, so we don't need that. So the only 3 options here I see are this, and the prices. This guy wants $1,000. The other guy wants $900, and the third one says call, so you have to call him to get a price. And obviously, all of them You see right here, it says left hand complete suspension, insurance quality, which means it's in mint condition with 22,000 miles, air shock sold separately. So this $900, it's not including the strut. Somebody's calling me. So it's just for the suspension. And you know, like I told you before, the dealer wants like 1,700, so it's not bad. Plus, this is going to include some extra parts like the brake caliper, you know, and other stuff. But the problem is it's located in California. See, it's 2,400 miles away from me. I mean, most of these parts can be shipped, so this is not a problem. But still, it seems like it's a lot of money to me. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how much the individual parts are, and see if we can save any money this way. So, like I told you before, our spindle looks good. So all we need is basically the control arms, like so, 2 lower control arms, upper control arm, and the strut. So let's go back to the home page, and we put in lower control arm. See what pops up. So we go here, go to control arm, front lower, right here. So again, there's a couple options here. It asks you if it's forward control arm or rearward control arm. We need both of them. So let's start with the forward one. Forward, left hand side, and click search. This is what it looks like right here. They even have pictures. This is the lower control arm. And the prices actually, you see, they range from like $150, and this guy has it for $75, which is actually a really good price. And you can sort it by distance. So the closest one to me is 55 miles away, and the guy wants $150. So since I have to ship it anyway, I might as well go with the cheapest option right here, $75, and it shows it's out of a 2016 Range Rover Sport, which basically is the same car that we have. So okay, cool. So it's $75. Let's go back and see how much the rearward arm is. Okay, we do a search, and this is what it looks like here. Again, it's another arm that we need. And again, the same guy, August Paul Auto Parts, has it for $75, which is great. So that means we can just call them and, you know, order both of them. They put them in the same box and UPS it. So we're gonna save money on shipping. So now we're looking at a total of $150 so far. Now let's look at the upper control arm. So we go back to control arm, front upper, and we need the left hand side. Okay, and again, picture is right here. Okay, and the same guy, August Paul, has it for $125, which is really good. So now we can get both lower control arms on the upper arm, and I'm sure they're gonna even give me like a little bit of a discount because I buy like a bunch of parts at the same time. So I'm sure we're gonna get all of these arms with shipping to my shop, probably around $300, which is awesome compared to $1,000 that I would spend for a complete suspension, which only would include, except these arms, it would only include the spindle, which we don't need anyway. So right now, instead of paying $1,700 from the dealer or $1,000 for a complete suspension used, we're gonna spend $300, which is awesome, you know. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call this guy August Paul, order this stuff, and now we're gonna need the strut, the air shock, air strut, and we're gonna need the axle. So from this invoice, I see the dealer wants $720 for the strut, and they want $800, looks like actually $1,253 for the, no, I'm sorry, $883 for the axle. So between the strut and the axle, that's like $1,600 if we buy them from the dealer. which is obviously a lot of money. So if we were to buy the suspension plus the strut and the axle from the dealer, we'll be looking at like $3,200. You know, they would give me a little bit of a discount, but still it will be somewhere around like $3,000 range. Okay, so let's see how much we can find the axle for. We'll go here, select axle shaft. See, I know all this stuff because I've been doing this for a long time, and I you know, that's why I know how all these parts, you know, the names of all these parts. But it's not that hard, guys. Once you do it a couple times, you get used to it, and it gets really easy. So let's go here, axle shaft, and now again it has separate options, different options here. It asks me if it has a 1-speed transfer case, a 2-speed transfer case, because we're looking for the front axle. And I know our car has a 2-speed transfer case because I called the dealer and I asked him about that. So we select this 2-speed transfer case, left-hand side axle, and we see they're out there. Some people say call for price. These guys have it for $300 here. This guy has it $350, and one guy has it for $125. It says all-wheel drive, less boots, so that means it needs boots. So I would rather get a complete one, and see the LKQ has it for $300, which is pretty sweet. Instead of paying, you know, almost $900 from the dealer, we're gonna get it for $300. All right, and let's go back to the strut. Let's see, scroll down, select strut right here. And again, it asked me if it has active damping or no active damping. And when I called the dealer, they told me it has active damping. So I'm going to select active damping left-hand side. And this is our strut right here. They even have pictures of it. Looks pretty clean, real nice. All right. Okay, and they're out there for, see, this guy has it for $250. Parts Link Enterprise in Nebraska, and it says active damping, left hand, has ABS. We ship 62,000 miles on it, and this one has 30,000 miles here. The same people, they have it for $300. So I'm gonna go with this one. So it's out of the same year, about the same miles as our car has. It looks really nice. So okay, so as you can see, guys, we're gonna get the strut and the axle for like $600 plus shipping. So let's say even $650, even $700, but it's way less than $1,600 or $1,700 you would pay from the dealer. So the way I look at it right now, we're gonna get all the parts we need for the left front suspension for around, I would say, like $900, which is really amazing if you compare it to like $3,000 if you would buy them from the dealer. So I'm gonna order all these parts, and we're gonna put them in the car and hopefully get it running in no time. So, and then after that, we're gonna start looking for the body parts, like the front bumper and other stuff we need to do the body work and get this car completely ready. But for now, guys, we're gonna focus on getting the suspension, getting the car running, you know, fixing the gas leak. So I'm gonna update you guys when we put it on the lift, and we'll see what's going on with the gas leak and why the car doesn't start. So I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.